Handplane. Screwdriver. And take off the blade. Now you got your blade by itself. I like to just give it a little wipe. Got some rust on it. The rust comes from handling it with your hands and being out in the shop and stuff. But anyway, so I put it down on my bevel and then tilt it up a little bit, and then just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and you can even do one finger to kind of emphasize the feathered edge. Give that a wipe. That's what that looks like. And then you come over, I got a 10,000 grit Arkansas stone, and I go to my bevel, and I go up, and this is just called a tertiary bevel. It's just like a micro bevel, a little bit higher than the one that we just cut. Just do the same thing. That's what that looks like right there. Gives it a nice sharp edge. And then I have this set up to do the Charlesworth ruler trick without the ruler, where I just come back and, if you don't know the Charlesworth ruler trick, look it up. Rob Cosman is an advocate of the Charlesworth ruler trick, and according to science of edgeology, it works really good. And that's sharp. Put it back together with your edge, and you can clean your chip breaker too. I usually just clean it on this 5,000 grit pad. I have it pretty dialed in, so all it takes is a couple swipes to knock the burrs off, and that's good now. And put it on like that. Take it down to about a 16th or a 32nd of edge reveal. Tighten the screw down. Make sure you're even. And that's your plane blade and chip breaker sharpening setup right there. Good to go? Good to go. We've got our Woodriver 5. And this is just kind of a slow process until it all kind of cuts evenly. It's a little high up for my liking. I'm like hoisting up, but it is what it is right now. I like this much better than sanding. It just takes a little bit more prep work, as you can see, than just tearing it up with the sander. Like, probably already could have been done with the sander, but the sander is noisy, and when it's vibrating your hands, kind of takes a toll after a while, and it always leaves swirl rings that you have to then sand out with more sanding. With the hand plane, it's a little tedious to get sharp and going and set up, but once you got your board clamped down and you get a little bit of experience using the tool, you can pretty much make things flat as glass, and it looks great. The only problem with standing with hand planing is it makes it so flat that it doesn't really take a stain that good. And I'm pretty sure we're going to stain this, but I'm only going to hand plane the edges and put a small chamfer on it, so I'm not too concerned about that. So I'm just going to keep on going until I get a nice shaving all the way across. And yeah, it's a little time consuming, but it's a lot more peaceful, a lot more enjoyable. shavings. It does make quite a mess, but if you have a composting system, this is great for their compost. You could also stuff a pillow with these shavings, but it's probably not the best for termites. I got termites one time. Didn't really expect it either. It kind of came out of nowhere. But they're just attracted to that fresh wood smell. So a way you can check it is to put your plane on the edge there. Let's see if it's tracking. There's some low spots I need to chase, but take a slightly thicker shaving now. Give it a slight chamfer to the bottom here. Because there's some parts that are kind of chipped out. Now this board is technically a little too long for this size tool I'm using. There's a longer version out there, but I only have this size right now. Get away with it. Just thinking if I want to chamfer these edges or not. Now is the time, but I might just do that with the sandpaper because I risk blowing out. But if I do, I need to do those first. But I'm just kind of thinking I'm not gonna mess with that. A couple more passes on this. Always got to be a little chip to make you chase down some more, like right there. Couple more passes ought to get it. I already said that, but that was before I saw that discrepancy there. Yo, thank you. I don't know what that was, but I heard something. Sounded cool. Thanks, Legend. Appreciate you. Thanks for the chili. Dang, you sent 27 chilies? Dang. That's more chilies than I can eat. Or it might have been 21, so we hit our goal. Thank you. Shout out to Legend Art Studio. If you haven't checked out her page, check out her page and buy something from there. Support your local artists. It's my motto. Taking off a bit of meat right there. Take one more pass on this side, on this setting, and then I will dial it back. Because you never want to take too much, that's where you get in trouble with this tool. Sneaking back up on it, taking like little grains at a time. And yes, you can pull it backwards, it's okay. Yeah, and you don't always have to dump it. Shout out to Rob Cosman on YouTube. Rob Cosman is my woodworking inspirator. I don't do Rob Cosman any justice by saying that, but he is an exceptional craftsman, attention to detail, years of experience, and just like a great guy. He called me on the phone. I ordered a saw from his website, and Rob Cosman called me on the phone. I was in the Home Depot, and I was like, "What's up?" He's like, "Hey, this is Rob," and I was like, "No way, Rob Cosman." And it said Rob Cosman on the phone when he called, and I was like, "Man, that was just such an awesome moment," because he actually called me, you know, just to thank me for my purchase, and I was like, "Wow, no one's ever done that," you know. So not only did I like really want the saw, you know, like I was really digging it because he makes the best products, but he actually called me and thanked me. So I was like, wow, that's just so awesome of him. But yeah, I watched like countless hours of Rob Cosman on YouTube designing furniture and doing hand tool woodworking and the Purple Heart program. So let's do a sighting. Not perfect, but we're really close. I've yet to get a full width shaving. And that's the indicator that you're flat. But this project doesn't necessarily call for that level of tolerance. So I'm just going to get it to where we kind of stop this recording, take a little break. Go the other way. Almost thinking I need to resharpen to get the best results. Maybe I just need a little wax. And that's how I put the wax on. I just spread it real quick and it helps a lot actually. Sometimes it's not that the blade is already dull, it's just that you ran out of wax and you're building up heat. That heat makes it sticky. Yeah, so it's always like you got to go with the grain. If you're going against the grain, you'll get tear outs with this tool, unless your plane is really sharp. But sometimes it's hard to get it that sharp. And more than the sharpness is like the angle of the blade and stuff like that. So. And I'm going to try going this way on this chamfer. Almost at a point where I can work on the other side's chamfer. Just not sure if I want to do that. I'll just do it real quick. So let's see. It's kind of looking like I can't reach it. I guess that works. Kind of awkward, but. Didn't really intend on doing it this way. Should be good for now. Hopefully it didn't mark up our wood. We can give it a flipperoni. Definitely still got some moisture content that I can feel in there. Hopefully this side is not going to give us too much trouble. So I got that fully clamped in. Little tapping with the mallet. It's not a perfect tool. Still a work in progress here. Pretty sure this is the inside, so it definitely doesn't need to be as perfect as the other side. So I'm just going to knock it down until it's nice and decently flat. Hit a couple chamfers on it, move on to the other piece. And then we'll sand all the sides down, except for these, well, the faces, should I say, we'll sand the faces down. And when I'm sanding, I'll turn the machine back on so we can keep tumbling our Mother's Day project. And my goal is this evening, by the end of the day, to be getting that thing mocked up and almost done. Mother's Day is just around the corner, and if I know me, I know I'm going to run out of time. So. And then we got Father's Day, not too far off from that. And I have some ideas, but I'm not entirely sure what to make for Father's Day. thinking of a metal American flag, but I already gave my father an American flag for Father's Day before, but it was made out of wood. So maybe a metal one would be cool. Kind of indecisive. I definitely want to make a metal American flag though. Maybe I could put that in my store. Have some ideas about how it would look. I really need to work on my welding skills. So. Whoo-wee. Thanks for liking the live. Dang, 16,000 likes, that's a lot. I'm gonna do a little more pass, couple more passes on the top here. And these little chips are bugging me, but there's nothing I can really do about that. And they were already there. And I forgot to show the other side on the camera. Show them like what it looks like. So I'll flip this around. This piece is heavier than it looks because it's a little bit wet inside still. check this recording. Pretty long clip. It's a long clip. Like I was saying, this is the inside where the two boards' faces meet, so kind of is what it is. Flip this just to get a little view of the camera. Forgot to get that. And that's how she's looking. See if I can. I used to have a quick release for my tripod, but I can't find it. And I just got a hand to hold it. It really is hard to show it, but there's a chamfer on one side, and I'll show this side.